Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Mars-Cydonia and Barnsy. I hope everybody's doing okay. I've got another little video here just to try and emphasise what I said in my last video about the clarity of the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter images. And I've always stipulated that the Mars Express, which is the one you're looking at now, are more detailed and show more data and information than the MRO, even though this is taken at 13.7 meters per pixel, which is about 46 feet per pixel, and the MRO reputedly you can see 2 or 3 feet per pixel. So you would expect the MRO to show in much greater detail anything I point out on this. Now I know there's going to be discrepancies between the Hirise camera on the MRO and the HRSC camera on the Mars Express orbiter. The different cameras, so I know there are going to be like slight discrepancies, but that's not the issue. I'm talking about images, objects and structures that can be seen in the Mars Express image but cannot be seen at all in the MRO. So we've got a major issue here between these two images. Who's telling the truth, what has got the greater resolution. In theory it's the MRO, but it doesn't, it looks to me as if the Mars Express is showing a hell of a lot more stuff, and that's because I think, for good or worse, whatever, that NASA are hiding everything that they can in Cydonia. They're only releasing certain images, and a lot of the time we can only see a little strip. That's partly to do with the way the MRO images Mars, it does it in strips, but they're deliberately picked to confuse and to show the least amount of detail. I've looked at all the Cydonia images that I can find taken by the MRO, and some of them you wouldn't even know we were looking at Cydonia. There's so little detail on them that if you were a scientist, right, working for NASA on the MRO, you would want your camera to take images of the most the best looking features you can see, right, in Cydonia. We're only talking about Cydonia here, guys. I'm not talking about anywhere else, only Cydonia, okay? Because I've got some good images taken by the MRO of other parts of Mars that seem to show quite a few anomalies, but I'm only talking about Cydonia because Cydonia is the place to go, if you like, for researchers for Martian anomalies, because this is what started it all. The famous face on Mars, and if anyone's going to be looking for ancient ruins of Martian civilization, they always go to Cydonia. So I think that NASA have made a very, very special effort to hide everything in this image. Okay, it's only my personal opinion. I know I get slated for it, but I'm trying to show the evidence that makes me believe that there is a cover up. And ESSA as well, ESSA that we're looking at now, they cover a lot up as well, but it's just that the information that they have left, we can glean quite a lot from it. Okay, I mean, again, a lot of it's subjective, and it's up to yourselves whether you believe what I'm trying to explain, to you. It's just that I've shown quite a few videos now, and it can't all be pareidolia, imagination and misinterpretation. It can't be, in my humble opinion. There's too many alignments, there's too many connections here. The sculptures, some of them are very obvious, some of them are a little bit weaker, I understand that, but a lot of them I think are quite strong. But it's whether you're open-minded enough to accept what I'm trying to explain here. It seems that there's a lot of people that still don't really get what I'm trying to put across. But I can't do much better than what I'm doing now, because I'm not an image specialist. I have basic skills at this. It's just that I'm I am pretty convinced that, I know someone said that I sound a little bit too sure about what I'm looking at, but I am personally pretty convinced about everything that I can see in this image. And for me personally, I mean, I'm not talking about anyone else, but when I look at these, and I never have done really, except maybe the first couple of weeks at looking at them, I've never really considered these as just being purely random mesas and buttes and landforms. I mean, when I look at them, I see sculptures. I'm going to admit that I do not see random groupings of rocks. There's nothing random to me in this image. Everything points to other parts of the image, and is telling a story, and is explaining a belief system of the culture that once existed here. It's hard for me to sort of prove to the extent that I would like to, because I'm working with like images that are quite degraded. The NASA ones are totally degraded. There's nothing in NASA images at all that's worth any research you're looking at, in my humble opinion. In Cydonia, anywhere else, yeah, because there's plenty of stuff that NASA have done that show anomalous structures. There's loads, but Cydonia, you won't get anything out of NASA with Cydonia, I'm guaranteeing that. And what I'm going to show you now is another little bit of proof, if you like, part 2 from the last video that I've done. And at the same time, I just want to show you this particular area here. Okay, I have done the fort, the so-called fort here, and I've done this on separate videos. I've done everything for all of them. Not this one yet, but I will explain to you about that one. Don't worry, but I've explained most of everything else. We're coming to near the end, really, of what I can show you in Cydonia. There's one or two things that I won't be showing you. I'm keeping them to myself. Okay, they're my. Anyone who's truly researched this, right, will have discovered the one or two little things in this image that are very hard to see, very hard to pick out, very hard to evaluate, right? But I've seen them, I know they're there, but I'm keeping them to myself, because then I'll know if I ever see this this data and information somewhere else, and that is not mentioned, then I'll know that they haven't really researched this, whoever it is. Okay, but I'm just keeping one or two little things to myself that is like, for me personally, I know it validates everything in this image. Absolutely validates everything, and maybe one day I'll tell you why I think this particular part of the image validates everything, but that might be for another day, depending on how things go. But anyway, okay, so I just want to concentrate on this particular area here. Okay, now it's a little bit blurred as you zoom in. Just let me see if I can just take that blur off for a little tiny bit. Just bear with us for 1 second. Oh, sorry. No, we don't want that. We just want unsharp masking. Let's reduce. Okay, so all I've done is basically messed about there with the brightness and the contrast, and taking a little bit of the pixelation off the image. Okay, I haven't altered it in any way. It's just so that we can maybe zoom in a little bit closer. They're not, you know, they do tend to break up quite a bit, but there's nothing I can do about that really, to be honest with you. But I have done some other images where I put in magnifier, so you might be able to see them a bit clearer. But what I want us to just concentrate on for a second now, there's some weird stuff here, okay? And I actually, there's the force that I did last a couple of weeks ago, okay? And explained that I think this is like some kind of, this is a portrayal of like a reptile, and it's eating this, what I call a terrapin here, okay? And there's two sculptures above it here. There's actually three, but you can't, it's very difficult to see that one, but there's two sculptures above the reptile there. And I'm going to point out things, okay, that you might not be able to see properly, but I want to point them out for, you know, just for completion really. And anyone else who wants to like maybe download the images and take a closer look at them. You can't really see it, right, but here is what looks like a reptile. See this here is a reptile, and it's actually got teeth in the mouth. The mouth is open and there's teeth in it, okay? You've got this thing here, God knows what it is. It's some kind of portrayal of an animal with I don't know whether it's some kind of turtle or I don't know, but it is an animal. This one as well, this is a funny animal, 2 legs, it's got a head and a body. Again, I don't know what it is. This pyramid, everyone's like, they've always called it a pyramid. I actually think that this is the head or the face of a bird, okay? And if you look there, that's to us, that's its left eye, to us, and there's its right eye, and the right eye is actually a structure, okay? That's a structure, but you've got 1 eye, 2 eyes, and then you've got the beak, yeah? So that, sorry, when I say yeah, guys, right, I'm not being arrogant or not like that. That's just a verbal full stop. That's the way I do my verbal full stops, okay? I just want to explain that because someone pulled me up about it, and I say yeah, and it doesn't mean nothing, okay? It doesn't mean nothing to use or whatever. It's just a verbal full stop, okay? But so we've got 1 eye there, 1 here, and then we have the beak, okay? And I actually think that is the visage, if you like, of a bird, okay? That's my idea as to what that is, okay? And then next to it here we have an unusual sculpture. Okay, just bear with us 1 second, right? I've just pushed it forward 90 degrees, okay? And so what we seem to have here is the profile of the face, okay? Don't worry, I'm going to show you these in a bit more clarity in a minute. So it's got a profile of the face, got 2 little eyes, you can see the face, and then it's wearing this big bulbous hat, if you like, and then it's got a round motif. There's the neck, and it's got a round motif, and then it's got what look like 2 flippers. See there, that's one, and then there's the second one, okay? And so it's an unusual sculpture, and I can't really explain what it is. I don't know, but it's definitely organic. It's some kind of life form. Whether it was indigenous to Mars or somewhere else, I don't know. It's just one of many weird and wonderful sculptures in Cydonia. But as you can see, but the hat does remind me of the Hedjet. It's called Hedjet. headgear crown that Egyptians used to wear. It's like a long bulb, like a tall bulbous hat, and that does remind me of that type of hat. Very unusual. Okay, but you can see like the profile of the face on it and the eyes, and like the flipper like faces. And then I'm just gonna go straight up, right, and then we've got this wonderful, very very unusual thing. I don't know what it is, but when I look at it I see some kind of like creature, um, where you can see its eyes, you can see an eye there, you can see an eye there. It's got like things sticking out of its head. That looks like an arrow, as if it was pointing somewhere. Maybe it is. It most probably is an arrow, and it is mostly pointing somewhere. I don't know, but it's definitely, in my humble opinion, some kind of creature with a massive mouth, full of teeth. Can you see? Can you see where I'm coming from when I look at that? And then it's got like a stalk like body that comes down to about there, and then there's some kind of structure here, which I don't know what it is. But again, that is in my humble opinion, that is portraying some kind of creature. Okay, I'm just throwing these out now as to what they are, what they look like. But it's not a random jumble of mesas and landforms in any shape or form. In my opinion, we're looking at sculptures here. Okay, and what the hell that is, I just haven't got a clue. I just don't know, but I know it represents some kind of creature. This does. Yeah, you can see like detail in it, and I said that looks like a bird, and then we have the reptile here, the fort eating the so-called fort, which is not a fort, is another animal, so that's eating it. Okay, and then what I want to do is just rotate that back. Right, just want to rotate this back. Now this is another fascinating image here. Okay, because when I look at this again, I don't see a jumble random pile of rocks at all. I see what to me looks like a rhino. Again, you've got to bear with me. I'm only telling you what I can see when I look at this, and you've got to put it with all the other evidence that I'm showing in these videos. You can dismiss it, right? Okay, but you've got to think of it as a small piece of the jigsaw of what we're looking at. Okay, this culture that existed here, sculptured animals, some of them recognizable and some of them that I haven't got a clue, like this, some of them are very very unusual. There's others like these which are animals, but I do not know what they are. Okay, I think that is some kind of snake or serpent with like a human head, human face. See that? I know it just looks like it looks like nothing, but I've looked at these in great detail, guys. Okay, so if we just go back to this one, I'm going to show them a little slightly clearer in a minute. Okay, so if you look at this, you can see like the head of the rhino, and you can see its horn here, and there's its head, right, and its eyes here, and I think there's another horn there. Okay, and then it comes round this way. Now it's all eroded and jumbled, but you're going to see where I'm coming from, because this here is the front leg. You can see like a hoof here, and then we have the back comes down here, and then what we're looking at here is the back leg, and you can even see that the back leg is braced. There's the thigh, there's the knee, and there's the back leg. It's braced into the ground, and you can maybe see the the feet, you know, the hoofs there, the hoof. Okay, so can you see roughly where I'm coming from here? It's like a rhino, and it's braced into the ground, and these are its legs: back leg, front leg. Okay, there's the leg there, and there's another one here, but you can't really see that properly. And then you've got this intricate pattern here, which is very important to what I'm going to show you in a minute. Okay, and then there's other stuff here which I'll show you what these are, which are quite interesting. Okay, so that's the general idea of what I'm gonna show you. It's not just the jumble random pile of rocks. There are sculptures there, and they do mean something. Okay, so if I I'll just come out of that. Excuse me, guys. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the MRO image, okay, which is there. Then I'm going to open up the Adobe the Mars Express image. Okay, so okay, guys. Now on the right hand side, that's the Mars Express image. Now the only thing I've done to that is like magnified it a little bit, 66.7%. Okay, you don't have to this on the left hand side is the MRO image. You don't have to really magnify that, because it's, like I say, it's a couple of feet per pixel. You know what I mean? You can zoom right in on it. I'm just trying to get them pretty even. Okay, so there's the I want to try and point out just this, like, in better detail, this like rhino creature. I hope as you keep looking at it, and your eyes will start to see what I can see, because it's there. I'm not making this up. I'm not inventing it. It is there. It's just that sometimes you have got to train your eyes a little bit to see these things. Okay, you know, you can see the eye, can't you? There, you can see the snout of it, and there's the horn on the end of its mouth. Yeah, and then there's its back coming down. I mean, look at the back leg. You can see the stance, if you like. You can see the stance. You see the thigh, and the way that the leg is sticking into the ground. And you can even see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 what look like nails. You know, like or parts of a hoof, something like that. I don't know, but you can clearly see that's in the shape of a hoof, isn't it? Because that represents the front leg, and this eroded mass here is most of the other part of the other leg. Okay, I hope you can see where I'm coming from there. Alright. Excuse me. But what I really want to show you here again is the disparity. You can't see the front of this because it hasn't been captured. Okay, see this part with the horn, and it's got a horn there. You see the eye. You can see it's the snout of an animal, without a doubt. In my humble opinion, you can't see it on this, but even the part that you can see, you know, you can see the eye there. You can see the eye, can't you? There. There's nothing there, is there? Nothing whatsoever. And don't forget, the MRO is supposedly a hell of a lot better camera. Okay, you just cannot see the eye at all, but you can hear, and you can see all these structures. These are all structures, guys. Everything you can see there, they're structures. It's nothing to do with pixelation or the camera. Okay. Now, what's obvious? The obvious difference in these two images, in my view, is this. Can you see this on the right hand side on the Mars Express image? Right. You can see the intricate detail within this image. Can you see it? Like there's a big entrance there. See that? That's an entrance, and this is like a pathway. See that? That's like a pathway into the entrance, and there's one here. Okay, and these are like walls, and it's most probably like a huge structure, like a building. Can you see these are all walls all going round? But it's three-dimensional, it's intricate, and it doesn't look natural. And then there's another structure here, again, with two walls either side, and then there's an entranceway here. I hope you can see that, but there's entrances all over this, and there's entrances there. Okay, but and there's a wall here. You can see this wall comes down, very intricate. And but if we have a look at the MRO, what can you see there, guys? You can't see anything, can you? You know, just compare them. That's as close, I mean, I can zoom right in, but it's pointless because it doesn't show you anything. Now, what do you think? What do you think is the truth? Who do you think's telling the truth here? NASA or Mars Express? What's the more detailed? I know this is very clear, and you can zoom right in it, but there's nothing in it. All the information has been redacted and taken out. So all we can see are cliffs, sand, rock, maybe a little bit of ice along here. I'm not too sure. But basically they've taken all the detail out. Or do you believe the Mars Express image on the right hand side? And you can actually see it's full of three-dimensional structure. Yeah. You can even see like the structures here. Again, there's an entrance there, there's an entrance there. You can see that it does look like a hoof. If you look at it very, very carefully, it does. This, on the other hand, it doesn't look like anything, does it? It's being purposely made just to look like a mountain. Can you see that? It's totally different, isn't it? Let's be honest. I mean, I'm not making this up. I'm just showing you what I can see. You can see that there's structure in the Mars Express one. You've got an entranceway there. You've got one there, because these are covered in entranceways, covered in them, right? And underground and as part of the city. But on the NASA one, you will not see anything like that anywhere at all. Okay. If there's any image specialists out there that can explain the difference here, because at the end of the day, if someone can give me a good explanation for why this is so different from this, I'd love to hear it. Okay. I'm not sort of buried into this in concrete. If someone can sort of prove to me that I'm not on the right track here, or I'm incorrect, that'll be great. Honestly, I'll accept it. But from what I'm seeing so far, these MRO ones are supposed to be the best evidence. The NASA ones are supposed to be the best evidence that there's nothing in Cydonia, that it's all rock, all sand and dust, right? But when you compare the images, it doesn't tally, does it? We're seeing we've got a massive issue here. I know it's difficult to believe that. I think that might be a rhino, and that these represent the legs if you like, but that's what I truly believe, because I that's what I can see. But NASA have made it appear as if it's just random rock. Just let me where are we? If I just spin that, okay, and then I'll spin the SO1. I'll just okay. So just have a look at, say, this. It's not the clearest image, I understand that, and you know, it can be denied that it's anything. I understand that as well, but I'm just asking you to be intellectually honest and compare this with this. They've made a concerted effort to just blank the face out, if you like. Okay, there's absolutely nothing there, is there? It's just being obliterated. Yeah, but on the Mars Express we can see, you know, facial characteristics, because this is full of structures, and the eyes on it are most probably entrances into this structure. Okay, it consists of carved out sculptures, features, and it consists of structures. Yeah, if we just come down here, look at, remember what I was saying about this round motif on the throat of this strange looking being here. So if you come down and you can see this round motif here, can you see it? I'll go right in for you, and you can see that there is a geometrical pattern there, can't you? You can see it there. So if you walk down this trail or road, whatever it is, and we come here, you can see a geometrical pattern, three-dimensional. It's there. It's not, you know, it's not imagination or anything like that. If you look here, you can actually see structures. They are structures, guys. Square buildings, geometrical patterns. Yeah, can you see them? This is a wall, and you can fall down that side, you can fall down this side, but you can see that they are artificial here. Yeah, and there's a massive entrance there, which is quite common on what I show you. There's an entrance way there. There's 1, 2, 3. The eyes, entrances, that's an entrance, and there's the structures. And like I say, I just want you to look at that for a minute, and you can see that there's a geometrical pattern there, right? Now if we go to the NASA image, what can you see? Yeah, I'll go right in the way I've gone right in on the Mars Express. That you can see, like, the road, that this is the road, it comes down and then it goes off to our right. It comes down, goes off to our right. So that's as close as you're going to get to it. But where the hell has our geometric pattern gone, which is a building? Where's it gone? It's totally been redacted, hasn't it? Gone. Where's these entrances here? Or look at all these entrances here all over the place. Where are they? There's no entrances there, is there? It's just nothing. There's no detail at all there. Yeah. So, you know, to me that is solid proof that we've got a major problem with these NASA images. You're looking at something that is vaguely human, wearing a crown, because that is a helmet or a crown. It's not just a random mesa. And there's it's got something on its throat or its chest here, which is a building, but it's also meant to be something. You can see the geometrical patterns. You can see the geometrical structures here. And then we're looking at the MRO, which is supposed to be the latest image and supposed to show us all the greatest detail you can see. But as you can see, guys, I am not making this up. There's nothing there. There's nothing, is there? Let's come back a minute. You know, you can see, I said that these look like flippers. Okay? and you can see that in the Mars Express there are structures and shapes, yeah, and here you can't see nothing. All this is just being all eradicated, so you're not going to see a thing, are you? You can see openings. See these black parts? These aren't. These are gaps. So even if they're not openings, even if you don't believe that they're openings into these structures, they're there, aren't they? You can see them. It's not. It's not shadow as such. That might be shadow. See there? That could be shadow. But even then, it might not be. I don't know. But these are openings into the structure. Where are they? Here. There's nothing there at all, is there? At all. If you just come down here, there's another massive, huge opening there. Can you see it? It's huge there, and you know it comes into this enclosure. You see that? Which is the foot of this strange creature. Where there's the head, there's the body. That's one leg, and there's the other leg. I don't know what it is. I haven't got a clue. But that opening comes out onto this leg. It all has meaning. A lot of it, some of it I can try and explain, and others I haven't got a clue. But I hope you can see where I'm coming from with these guys. There's nothing in the MRO image, and there's so much more in the Mars Express. And if you just come back to this area here and this area, you can see the difference there, can't you? See the difference here? There's so much detail in that. It's three-dimensional, and yet it's all been redacted here. And don't forget, we're talking massive disparity in resolution. These are the best. The NASA ones are supposedly the best you can get. Okay, so just let me go on to that. So I hope you see where I'm coming from there, that we've got a major issue with the MRO images. Now there's just another one. I hope I'm not running over too far here. I mean, they go on for a bit long, don't they, guys? But I'm sorry. I'm trying to show you that much information and data that it's, you know, it's got to be this long. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to explain to you properly what's here. Okay, so if I open this in Adobe, get that over there, and open this. Okay, so obviously the one on the left, our left, is the Mars the NASA MRO images, and this one is the Mars Express. So what I've got to do with the MRO one is just rotate it 180 degrees, because I just want to show you the disparity again here. Okay, now this is the Mars Express image, which I've magnified, as you can see. It's been magnified. Okay, I don't think I've done anything to that, by the way, guys. I haven't enhanced it in any shape or form. If any, the most I would have done to it is just brightened it up maybe, or messed about with the contrast, but I don't even think I did that with this particular image. Okay, so this is the MRO, and as you can see, again, we've got major issues with this. The detail in this, I have done a video on this, and I called it APEP. It's like a giant reptile from Egyptian mythology, and you can go and watch it if you want. It is there, and there's much more detail on this. But really, I'm just showing you because you can see the teeth in this, can't you? You can see the pointed chin, and there's actually another reptilian face in there. You can see the eye there, and an eye there. Okay, but look at the difference in these. You can see all these details, but you can't see nothing there, can you? You know, the teeth, these pointy teeth have all been erased. Now don't forget, if you're seeing anything in the Mars Express image here on the right, you should be able to see it at least 10 times clearer on this one. So what's happened to what I call teeth on this? Where have they gone? There's nothing there, is there? That even looks, see that line there? That even looks artificial, that, guys, to me. See it? That looks straight there, as if it's been blended in. That doesn't look right. It's all been blurred, rendered in, it's been erased. And look at the detail on this. And I'm going to prove here. Look, see this here? Just look at it. There's nothing there, it's flat, isn't it? 2-3 meters per pixel, that, guys. Okay, there's nothing there. Now let's go over to the Mars Express image. Okay, now this is the same feature here. Can you see it? So here we have the feature in the MRO, the NASA, and here we have the Mars Express, and you can see that there's some kind of large structure, 3-dimensional. It's off the ground, okay, and you know, even if you think of it as a mound or a very, very small mountain or a massive rock, you know, you take your pick. You don't have to believe that it, you know, I'm thinking it's a structure artificially created, but you don't have to believe that. All I'm pointing out, right, is the fact of disparity in what we're looking at. Here we have a featureless NASA image with nothing there. It doesn't look like anything, does it? Come on, let's be honest about it. And that does. You can even see like shadow underneath it. Could be an entranceway, I don't know. And you can see that round it. See all this shadow is deep. It's deep, isn't it? You can see structures here, guys. See all these? These aren't pixels. See all this? The 90-degree angles and geometric patterns. These are, it's a city. And even this here, see the shape here? That to me looks like a reptilian shape of a lizard. Not saying like an alien, not. I'm just saying it looks like an animal. Yeah, it actually looks to me like they've carved an animal there with 2 eyes, one there, right on the side of the head, which is about right for a reptile, isn't it? They have eyes right on the side, and there's the mouth. Yeah, again, it's subjective, and you don't have to believe that, but that's what I think that is as well. You've got a reptilian creature there. You've got something here. You've got, this is 2 in 1. You've got like this bottom one with the shark's teeth, and then there's another one here. This is like a cliff, okay. But what I'm pointing out is the complete and utter difference. Why aren't we seeing these structures here close up? I mean, is there a technical reason for that? Is there some kind of scientific explanation? Because I don't think there is. And I think if somebody did come up with a scientific explanation for why it's so different, I think it'd be a load of rubbish. Yeah, I'm saying that's a sculpture. It's a natural feature like a cliff, but it's being sculptured to look like an animal. Just let me, I'll turn this back over, the Mars Express image. So if I just take that back over, right, and I'm gonna I'll switch over the NASA one. What the hell? It's disappeared, guys. Right, okay. Now again, look at the difference. Look at all that three-dimensional. You know, in fact, that looks like a structure, circular, with a 1, 2, 3, 4 lines coming off it, and there's something in the centre, and there's a massive. I'd see this like white line here. That's most probably like a pathway or a road, and there's something here. See that? Again, you know, this is like structural. Okay. What does that look like when you look at it from upside down? What does that look like? It looks like a shark's head, doesn't it? Can you see that? It looks like a shark. And most probably, guys, that's what it's supposed to convey. See all the teeth and the pointy snout here? That's most probably what that conveys, an apex predator. Because I've said to you, these did believe in the hunter and the prey and the stronger and the fitter. They had something about that. They loved human faces, and they also had this the stronger and the fitter survive, and the weaker don't. Okay. But as you can see, massive difference, isn't it? None of these structures here, which you can clearly see, there's all sorts going on there. See all this? There's nothing, is there? It's all been smoothed out and gone. And just a quick one now. I'm nearly finished, guys. Don't worry. I have shown you this one before, but I've just got to take that one out. I've just got to leave this in. Okay, just gonna open this. If it comes up, I hope. Yeah, it does. Yeah, great. Sometimes it doesn't work the way you want it to. Okay, I just want to point this out. Thanks for your patience, guys, on looking at these. I know my videos are quite long, and it doesn't give me many views, but I do appreciate the 1 or 2 people that do look at them. Right, so this, I'll just make that big. I have shown you this before in another video. You'll have to go and have a look at it if you want to know the full details of it. But what I'm saying here is that we're looking at 1 or maybe 2 people. Okay, a pregnant woman here. She's wearing a conical hat here, and she's got decorations hanging off the hat here, and then she's got an ear decoration. There's her eye, nose, and mouth, and then if you look, come down, she's got a big belly here, which so she's pregnant, and then there's her legs, and then next to her, just bear with me on this. You'll see where I'm going in a minute. You've got another individual. You can see his eyes, nose, his mouth. He's got a smile, and there's his head. And I do believe, right, he's wearing a cloak here. Okay. And this is the top of his arm. This is forearm. I mean, look at the forearm, is perfect, isn't it? And then he's holding onto this thing, which I did explain a little bit about in my last video, what I thought it was. Okay, so you'll have to go and read it. But this guy, who I think is portrayed as wearing a cloak, and he's holding this instrument here. This is fist, and it's round the arm of this here. Okay, can you see that? It's to me it's clear, but you know. And then you can see where this is lighter colour. See, it comes down here. It's a lighter colour from this. So I do think there's 2 separate people there. You've got the pregnant lady, and then you've got this guy with the cloak on next to her. But my point is, right, where I'm coming from with this, for this particular video, you can clearly see here, the conical hat. You know, I said to you that conical hats represented royalty on Earth. On Earth, anyone with a conical hat was usually related to royalty. And you can clearly see it there, right? But you can't see nothing, can you, in the close-up MRO shot, because this is the back here. This is a close-up of it, and you can see the hair decorations and the ear decorations, but because the face is being cut off, you wouldn't know. If you were looking at that, you wouldn't have a clue about what that represented on the NASA image. So some things they do leave in, okay, but I'm telling you that I think that it represents a human being, and you'll see it in context in the proper video of it, okay. But it wasn't showing you that there was a conical hat here, and it's being taken out of the image on the Mars Express. Okay, you just see a little bit of a faint line even, but that's been made to look like a little bit of a slopey cliff or something like that, okay. And the guy here, you know, with the cloak on, you can see his face and you can see his arm and everything, and here they've just basically obliterated it. So if you were to look at this NASA image, just get it, download it and have a look at it, you would not know what you were looking at there, because it's all blended in. It doesn't mean nothing, does it? There's no context for it or nothing. You wouldn't have a clue what you were looking at there. It just looks like rock and sand, okay. But you can see here, there's a lot more to it than what NASA are trying to point out. Okay then guys, I'm going to leave it there, because otherwise it's just going to go on for too long. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope you understand that there's a lot of major issues with these MRO images. I don't think they show what's really here in Cydonia, and I think they've gone through a massive effort in Cydonia to make sure that all the anomalous material is being taken out, and we're not seeing the truth and the reality about what really lies here. And I hope I'm doing my best to show you, even in a little bit, that we are not being told the truth. I know it might not be palatable to some people, and there's a lot of people who just believe NASA wouldn't do such a thing, but I'm hoping that what I've shown you over the months is a little tiny bit of proof that there's a lot of things that do need questioning, and we need answers to them, because I don't think we're being told the truth. Okay then guys, thanks very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to be doing another video again soon, and I'm open to be moving away from Cydonia. I've just got a few more little things to show you. There's that much data and information in it, honest to God. I've done my best to rush this, but there's so much information there, it's just unbelievable. But I want to get onto like more fun stuff, you know, things that I've found, and just put it out there, and then leave it for you to decide what you think they might be. I've found quite a few interesting things, and I want to get them out a little bit and get off this what I consider really serious stuff and go on to a little bit of fun stuff. But anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I really appreciate it. Please comment, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks guys, see you later.